Dehing Patkai is a lowland tropical dense rainforest that has been in formation for over 35 million years now. It is considered to be the eastern gateway of Indian wildlife, with 7 different species of cats, 5 species of hornbills, and more than 350 species of birds.
That this area was under British rule and they had their own policies. Even after the independence of India, the policies remained the same almost. That's why, because it was full of resources and all the area was declared as reserve forest due to the extraction of, due to the collection of the resources. And that's why most probably in Assam, not only in Assam, we have the highest number of reserve forests in Tinsukia and Bidura district. How they are protected? The forest or whatever it may be, wetland, right? They are all protected under the Wildlife Protection Act.
Since 1972, we have our Wildlife Protection Act that provides for the protection of the country's wild animals, birds, and plant species in order to ensure environmental and ecological security. There are 5 types of protected areas as provided under this act. Sanctuaries. They are naturally occurring areas where endangered species are protected from poaching, hunting, and predation. National parks are areas that are set by the government to conserve the natural environment. Conservation reserves. State government may declare an area, particularly those adjacent to sanctuaries or parks, as conservation reserves after consulting with local community, tiger reserves or wildlife reserves. These areas are reserved for protection and conservation of tigers in India and also other wildlife animals. Fifth, Biosphere Reserve. It is to protect large areas of natural habitat than a typical national park or sanctuary that often include one or more national parks or preserves along with buffer zones that are open to some economic uses. Protection is granted to not only the flora and fauna of this region but also the human communities who inhabit these regions and their ways of life. Eco-sensitive zone. The purpose of declaring eco-sensitive zones is to create some kind of shock absorber to the protected area by regulating and managing the activities around such areas. The entirety of Dehing Patkai comes under the Wildlife Protection Act.
Saliki is the proposed reserve forest. Then the only 111.19 square kilometer is wildlife sanctuary. Around that wildlife sanctuary, that is a eco-sensitive zone which goes up to 10 kilometers. And that is interesting. Saliki is, it is not even the 10 kilometer from the wildlife sanctuary boundary. It is only 9.1 kilometer. That means the Saliki is within the eco-sensitive zone. Top of that, entire area is again known as elephant reserve. Right? So we have elephant reserve, then the wildlife sanctuary, then the reserve forest, then the eco-sensitive zone of Dehing Patkai wildlife sanctuaries. In the name of the development or in the name of the collection of the mineral resources, oil, or in the name of the plantation of tea plantation, right? If we destroy all entire this area, then there will be a very huge threat for the Indian wildlife also, because this species is still used as the wildlife dispersal. The forest cover, there are illegal tree felling going on, there are illegal mining going on, and this important is very important for the rivers and tributaries also. Sand collection, gravel collection. So in every aspect, and unauthorized tea plantation also, encroachment of the tea plantation in the reserve forest area also. And entire this area is very rich in coal. Entire this area is, and this coal is very important because this is the place, tertiary coal field. So there is a tremendous threat on the forest habitat, because open cast mining is the very simple solution for both coal India as well as other illegal activities. The biogeographically that I have already told you, this is most important. Wildlife wise, very important. Biodiversity wise, very important. This is one of the biodiversity hotspots of the world also.